Hello everyone, it's Creepy and Tina.
Hi.
Welcome to the channel. Hope everybody's having a wonderful day and that your day is going good and that you are in the best of health.
Yes, with health as always being most important. Today I know this is kind of a subject that a lot of people have touched on, and you might have viewed this on other channels, but it's things that you may need to think about before booking your next vacation. And I think that a lot of the points that we're going to bring up are very valid points that maybe you glossed over, maybe didn't think about at all, and may affect the way you travel until we get a hold of COVID. And we know that's not happening. It's almost been a year, guys, officially. 1 year with COVID around and us dealing with the COVID monster.
Right.
So as we know, regulations and laws have been changing worldwide for this past year, all through this epidemic, this COVID crisis. We did a video earlier last year when the borders started to close. For us, that meant Europe closing because we had trips planned. Colombia closing, we had a trip that we were supposed to go to Colombia.
Sure did.
Our borders closing here in the Dominican Republic, as well as the United States also closing their borders. So if you go back in our vast catalog of videos, you will see that video where we kind of urged people to do this back then. Some people listened, some people didn't.
Some didn't.
So here is one more time. One more again, let's try it. But everyone had differing, at that time, requirements. Still is the same today. No country is on the same accord as another country, meaning that whenever there's a new administration, like the USA has just now gotten with Mr. Biden, President-elect no more. He is President Joseph Biden, yay. And he stepped in, and we knew that things were going to change, and so they have. And that's probably the videos, like I said, that you've been seeing from other YouTubers, but we're going to take it a little further. But booking travel, like we saw then, right, only paused during the initial shutdown. And then it came back with a vengeance. It came back with tons of ads, sales. I could not keep track of how many emails I got on airline and hotel sales.
Everybody, you know what? And they make it sound so good, they make it sound so sweet. Everybody wants their money. Everybody wants you to think that the pandemic and everything is over and we're all free and clear.
Right, but then we also saw, after we took advantage of all those sales, and I'm saying we as in you guys, the whole community, took advantage of all those, and then, boop, your plans got canceled. You had to rebook. You had to reschedule. Those of you that were lucky did receive cash refund because there was that small window where the U.S. said, hey, listen, the government stepped in and said, if you paid for a plane ticket or hotel stay, you should be refunded that hotel stay or that plane ticket because it's not your fault, it's COVID.
Right.
And it's going on and it's everywhere. But some of us ended up in what I call a worst case scenario. And that is you end up in the land of the vouchers, voucher land. That beautiful land where it may never be used because of all the regulations that certain countries have put into place. And no way to get the cash that you spent back. Voucher land means you never are seeing your cash again. You live voucher to voucher. They keep on extending expiration dates because yes, vouchers have expiration dates, but they're never going to hand that cash back over into your pocket. Currently now, everyone is running back from vacations all over the world back to the United States so that they don't get stuck by this January 26th deadline, because as of January 26th, to enter the United States, you have to have a negative COVID test within 3 days upon entry. So you said you personally saw somebody.
Right. I personally saw somebody, okay, yesterday. They had their luggage that was coming from this building, and they were heading out to the airport here in Santiago, getting out of here because they know they had a time frame and time schedule to get up out of here and get back to where they were going, back to the US of A.
So you'll say, how should this affect my plan for a vacation? Well, let me let you know. So if you're watching this video, it's either the 26th or past it. So there's 3 things that you need to consider before you book that vacation. Here's number 1. Always remember that airline companies, hotels, and Airbnbs will take reservations. They will take that money regardless of changing travel requirements. What other countries decide to do, what the United States decides to do, has no effect on their calendar. They are going to keep taking that money because they are in the business
of making money.
There you go. So,
especially yours.
Right. They're trying to make up for all the losses that they went through during the pandemic. And they have to keep the money in their own coffers.
Right.
You handed it over before knowing, and they will just offer vouchers at this point. So that's over with. The extension of that don't worry cash back is gone. It went away quietly and without a whisper because they still want you to book with that confidence, thinking you're going to get your money back. Not the deal. But that's not even the worst case scenario. So let's get to the worst case scenario. He told me I was going to put fear into people, but I'm like, people need to know. So if I scare you, sorry, not sorry. So here's the worst case scenario. You take your said vacation. Policies either change prior to you going, like really close to you going, during your vacation, or the worst of all, which I can't even imagine, but people are doing it, you didn't even bother to check the policy out on travel for your country. Now you're stuck, which we keep hearing on all these videos, all these people crying that they're stuck in the country that they decided to vacation in and they can't return home. Well, what does that mean? Well, that means that either they were unable to get their test results within 3 days of them flying out, or they tested positive. And yes, there are false positives, so good luck with that, because what if that happens? That's a whole nother video. But so now these people that are stuck, we'll put that in quotes, are racking up bills as they have to put all these days and weeks that they're in that country, in said country, fill in the blank, because as long as it's out of the United States airspace, you're out of the country. Any state you're in the U.S., you're fine, but once you have to go through a customs or an immigration agent's desk, you are out of the country. If you didn't know, you better ask somebody. So you have to spend all this money on credit cards, or worse, cash, to stay at hotels. You're now missing work. You could possibly be fired for no-show, because you guys had what, no-call, no-shows, so many that you could.
So many days after that, you're gone.
There you go.
Replace you.
There you go. And also, what everybody's forgetting to mention in this, you are going to pay a sky-high airline ticket when you have to go last minute because you finally get that test and it's finally negative and you can leave. So you're paying a huge airline ticket to get out of there. So now you've got the cost of the stay, you've got it, now you've screwed up at work, and the airline, all on top of what you didn't expect to pay during this vacation. Look at that vacation. Was those few days of vacation worth all of that headache and cost in the end?
Now, in the meantime, they're telling you, and you see all the advertisements, and you be looking like online, you was like, wow, there's such a sweet deal to this place, sweet deal to Bahamas, a sweet deal to Jamaica, and sweet deal to
why,
wherever.
You would say? You should say why. Why is there such a sweet deal when there wasn't before? Why?
Yeah. Now you family, now they love you, okay? And the hotels are doing it. The Airbnbs are doing it.
Yeah, stay with us.
The airlines, stay with us with family. We love you long time. Long time we love you. Okay?
Until.
And that's just a pitch to get you in.
Yeah.
Until something happens.
And you ask for that money back.
You ask for your money back. Now all of a sudden you ain't family and you ain't the deal Holyfield.
Exactly. Because everything has, like I always say, cause and effect. There is.
Right.
There's just cause and effect. And I don't know where everyone else has been living, but I have been living in the last year in the most unpredictable world with the most unpredictable circumstances. And then they've all had the most unpredictable results. So I don't know where everybody woke up and all of a sudden thought that everything was calm and cool and perfect. It's not. It's far from. And it has been like this, again, I point out, going on a year. We heard about COVID
Absolutely.
in January and February. So it has been damn near a year.
Yep.
Like,
Yep.
I don't, this is all, like, when I first even heard this, I was like, I don't understand why people are shocked, because are you still living in the same world I've been living in? So that's number 2. So number 2 is definitely worst case scenario. But number 3, you have to be vigilant over your wallet, because nobody cares about your money except you. Nobody. Nobody's ever going to take care of your money the way you do. I'm vigilant on his wallet. He's vigilant on my wallet. We have 4 sets of eyes looking at that money to make sure that it's spent, and it's spent well. But also remember that big business funds politicians. And as long as they are funding politicians, politicians are not going to bail the common guy out, okay? They did it to play nice when the pandemic first happened.
Right.
They said, hey, we're here for you, because it was re-election time. So everybody's your friend when they want to be elected. And then afterwards, all of a sudden, they side on big business. They need the economy to look like it's doing good.
Right.
They need to show the growth in said economy. And that's not just the U.S., that's all over. Everybody's doing the same thing. They're doing it here also. The government needs the economy to grow and do more.
Right. And you know, I'm gonna tell you something. If they can get you, if they can take you, they can take your money, and they ain't gotta never give you nothing back. They're the winner and you're the loser. They can voucher you to death. Okay, well, you can go on this date, and you can go on that date. You can go on this date, but we can't get your money back. We're just going to just give you a voucher, and we'll keep extending that voucher. But then after a while, even the voucher has an expiration.
Exactly. So we'll use us as
Yes.
an example. We had the trip to Spain, and we had our airline. Now, the hotels and everything were an easy fix. Every hotel said, listen, if you put a deposit or you paid, here's your money back. Not a problem. You're good. You're gold. But the airline held on to that money and said, you will only be issued a voucher. Our voucher has been extended 3 times, and every single time I ask the same question. I asked the guy, what happens if Europe's borders are still not open and I still can't take said travel within the time you're telling me that you extended it to? And he always says, I cannot make you any promises. Check back on the website or check in with us.
In short words, and read between the lines, you ain't getting your money back.
Right. And I've already come to grips with
getting
that.
it back.
I said, listen, we may potentially have to take a loss of thousands that it costs us for the airline, because it doesn't look like we anytime soon are going to be able to use a voucher. And what happens when they stop being nice and stop extending, or worst case scenario for them, they go out of business, because we have seen that happen to some airlines.
And I'm quite sure we're not the only ones that this has happened to. And right now, I mean, they really having fun with this, because this is, to me, is almost like the biggest scam and the biggest scheme that we've seen in a long time. To me, I took it personally when I can't get my money back.
Yeah.
Okay, and they just gonna vouch you to death, and then you gotta turn around and say, okay,
let's look at it this way. I don't feel bad for us, because it happened to us in the midst. COVID hadn't happened yet. So we were collateral damage to the beginning of COVID. Now, had I done this and booked this trip just like a month ago, you deserve to knock me out, because I should have known better, because everyone knows how COVID has been this last year. But again, we booked this travel in 2018 for travel in 2019. Right. And couldn't take it. Now we're sitting in 2020, 2019 to 20. We're supposed to travel in 20. And now we're sitting in 2021. I booked it in 19. So it's not like what this video is, which is you guys are booking now. And it's 2021, y'all should know better. But the question you have to ask yourself, the most important question is, are you financially fit?
Right.
If you've got to take that loss.
If you got to take that hit, can you handle it financially? That's the main thing. That's what this is all about. Okay? Because some people can't. They get stuck, and once you stuck, it's just a bad place to be in, because it feels like you just lose part of your life.
Well, because they've overextended or hyperextended themselves to even take the vacation. They say, oh, this is such a great deal. Instead of going 2 or 3 days, let's go 5, 7. And then you've reached the limit on your credit card, and then you're stuck because you can't get the test in time, to which now, what credit card you going to use to stay? Because now you're stuck in a country that you've just visited, you know nothing about. You have to find a place to stay and hunker down until you can get that COVID test and return back to the U.S. That's a scary scenario.
And if you're on a resort, you're really in big trouble. They charge you.
I don't know how you can afford to stay there. I would. I'd find someplace cheaper. Oh my God,
so
no way.
It can really be one of the worst experiences that you can experience in your life by going on vacation. Because last time I checked in, vacation is supposed to be nice, smooth, streamlined, seamless, relaxing. Your nerves are bad.
Right.
You want to go. You just want to enjoy yourself on the beach and just have fun and enjoy life.
Right.
But situations like this come up.
What's it worth?
And it can hit you like a ton of bricks when you get to the airport and there's an issue. I don't like no problems at the airport, period.
Right.
I don't care, my passport, my pet, whatever it is. I like it streamlined when I'm going through the airport.
Right. So as always, be well informed. Keep up to date on all changes in travel. We're talking from the airlines, from hotels, if you're staying at an Airbnb, and especially in the countries that you're flying to and from. That's the most important thing that I could leave with this video. And most of all, do not book out of your desire or your want to go somewhere and regret the cost of it later, because that's what's happening to these people. Now they're like, it wasn't worth it. And I'm like, well, you should have thought about that quietly before you went. So then you're in a coulda, woulda, shoulda.
And remember, I don't care how they advertise you online and tell you, you're a family, we love you, welcome aboard, this, that. You're not really family. Only thing is good to them for legacy is your bottom dollar. That's the only thing that will make you family with them, is how much you're going to spend, how long you're going to be going for, and the airport ride and all this other kind of stuff that you normally would spend coming out of your pocket when you go on vacation.
Amen to that.
So it's a terrible thing, and it's a frustrating thing, and it's an angry thing. So don't put yourself in a situation like that. Do your due diligence, do your homework, make sure you got everything together. Check that country out, the rules, check the country you come back into, the rules before you leave.
Yes.
I know you've been on lockdown for a while. I know you've been on curfew, all this kind of stuff. But you know what? It's better for you to do your homework and to be throwing a bunch of money out there that you really can keep and use for something else, instead of letting these people take you to the cleaners and you end up with at the end of the day with a coulda, shoulda, woulda voucher that's going to last you for a certain amount of time, and after that you won't even have that. So in the meantime, between the time, always remember that life is meant to be enjoyed.
Yes, even if that's from the comfort of your home. So as always, make sure to hit that subscribe, hit notifications. Always give this and all videos a thumbs up. And all information is always underneath all the videos. We keep you up to date and accurate, but the rest is up to you.
And until the video, be wise.